Alright, welcome to the channel. This time we're just going to do a little simple mountain biking here at Riley Woods in Holland, Michigan. Hang on, enjoy the ride. Riley Woods is a pretty fun place to go. Even after a rain, it is dry in here and this trail is almost always open. I'm here by myself today, so I can pretty much ride as fast as I want to. This little beginning section here is fun, going through a beautiful little woods. They've done quite a few improvements to this trail, building some jumps, reinforcing the trail bed with some gravel. There's a drop-off section with some wooden drop-offs. That's pretty fun. It's really kind of woken this trail up for me. There were times when I used to find it kind of boring, but now there's just enough little features in it that just kind of keep your interest and make it so you can ride multiple laps on this thing and just keep having fun every lap. Got a little jump here. That's pretty small. Had to keep up some speed to make it up this hill. We come into that wooden drop-off section. All right, buckle up. Here we go. For some reason this feature is rated as expert, but it's not a jump, it's just kind of a little bridge over a log. It's not very difficult. It must just be the height off the ground and the fact that if you were to ride off of it and slam into that log, it would not be a pleasant experience. Feeling really good today. Really feeling like going fast. Temperature's just right, the sun's shining through the trees, and it's beautiful out here. Bit of an outlaw trail here. This section of the woods is a lot of pine trees. The ground is pretty much covered in pine needles. This trail's been used for many years, so it's well packed in, and despite the pine needles, there's still you can still maintain a lot of speed through here. In just a minute here we get to some little wooden rollers that they've built out here. They're pretty fun. There's some rollers like this in another trail called Bass River. They're a little bigger, they're a little easier. These ones are just a little bit steep, but I'm not complaining. I'm glad to have them. You will find hikers and runners out on the trail. Generally not an issue. Communication between trail users is usually pretty good. This is a mountain bike trail, which I would think mountain bikers would have the right of way on it, just because of how much more speed we can carry versus a runner or a walker. We get a little bit farther away from that pine tree area. You can see the forest is changing a little bit. It's a little bit more, a little less pine tree, a little bit more deciduous. There's a little section of pine trees there. So now we're back into leaves on the ground versus pine needles. This is actually a pretty good hill. It's fun going in this direction. Alternate days when the trail runs the other direction, you got to get up quite a head of steam to climb up that thing. This trail is about 4.5 miles long. Maybe it's 4.3, I don't remember exactly, but it's a little over 4 miles long. Kind of grinding my way up this hill. Take a little break, get a little water, dropping back in. A little bit of a jump here, down to some tight trees with some pretty good speed. Over a little bit more of a hill, more tight trees, more speed. Coming right up into another hill. I would describe Riley Woods as a little bit more of an old school trail. The trail kind of just blasts over some of these hills. Some of the newer school trails, the way the trail is laid out through the woods, it switches back up and down the hills. It's a little easier to ride, a little better flow. But I'm not complaining. Riley Trail is definitely one of my favorite trails. It is 20 minutes from my house. And like I said, you can practically ride this trail in the rain and you're not going to damage the trail because it's a sandy type soil. It is almost always dry in here. just about at the peak of this ridge. The trail starts to go down right here, and we come out into a clearing and then enter into the back part of the trail. There's the beginnings of a little bit of a jump right there. I'm not sure what they're doing with it. It's not much of anything right now, it's just kind of 2 bumps in the trail. But I'm sure they got plans for it. There's a bunch of fresh gravel in here that needs to get bedded in. Right now I'm gaining speed because there's a jump up here.
Have a good night.
Didn't really mean to send that girl that far off the trail. I didn't see her at first. I was more concentrating on getting speed for the jump. Climbing up this hill. It's a bit of an alternate line. The main trail kind of goes off to the left. This is a little bit more difficult section. Basically, you climb up this hill just to barrel down it again. Like right here. I almost always take this way. I think it's more fun. And we join the main trail again.
Have a good night.
A couple more hikers. We'll see them again in a minute. I have to pass them again. Like I said, on a bike you can carry so much more speed. You can easily lap some of the walkers and hikers that are out here. I love the way the light from the sun is shining through these trees. It's a beautiful day out here. A lot of times if you're having a stressful day, load up your bike, head to a trail, just start pedaling. That stress all falls off somewhere along the trail, never to be found again. I can't encourage people enough to get a good outdoor hobby, and don't be afraid to do it. Bring other people along with you. It's a pretty stressful world out there. We all need a bit of relief. And the power of exercise is something else. Now you might be watching this and thinking, I don't have the stamina for this, I don't have the strength for this, or I just don't have the lung power for this. I can tell you, all that stuff is rented. You got to earn it. I know in the springtime when we start mountain biking again, you can tell it's been winter and we haven't been doing as much. But 2, 3, 4 rides into the season, it pretty much comes back to you. Your body will remember.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
We are well over halfway through this trail at this point, and we're about to make a turn up here, and that's going to send us back to the parking lot. If I remember the trail map correctly, this is about the farthest away from the parking lot that the trail goes. This is that turn I was talking about. I think it's probably about 1.5 miles back to the truck. At this point, Get pretty thirsty, need a little bit of water. Put the water bottle away, get back to pedaling. Even as I sit here and kind of narrate this video, I'm thinking, got some plans here in the next couple weeks to take a bunch of first-time mountain bikers from my church to a nice easy trail and then kind of give them an opportunity to experience some of this. What I find is that I'm pretty blessed, and I've had a lot of opportunities in life. A lot of other people haven't. Or they've just never been exposed to anything like this. They don't even know if they'd like it or not. They've never had an opportunity to try. I know my family, we really love to share hobbies with people, so mountain biking it is. I got a bunch of extra bikes, a bunch of extra helmets. Should be able to get most people hooked up. We'll go for a nice ride. They might really love it. Or they might not, but you'll never know unless you try or are given an opportunity to try. I do know I run into a lot of people that are struggling with depression and anxiety, other issues like that, and I'm not here to discount that. I myself have struggled with anxiety at the past, and I do know from my own experience that getting out and getting some exercise is incredibly helpful. I know don't normally recommend medications to people because I've been on them before, and I did not like the way that I felt when I was on them, and I got myself off, and I've dealt with anxiety and other ways, mostly through exercise and hobbies. Another little jump here. We're getting ready to turn back into the woods up here. A little bit of a low branch up here, so I got to duck under that. It's going to get darker, so we're going back in the woods. The camera's got to adjust. Here we go. This is a pretty fast section right here. Definitely on our way back to the truck. Probably under a mile at this point. I'm going to finish narrating this video, and I'm probably actually going to head back out to Riley Woods. Just watching this video is pumping me up, making me wish I was out there.
Just me again.
Here's those two
Just
walkers again. One more pretty decent hill. We are on the downhill back to the parking lot. Been a good ride. Oh, two more walkers. Getting little glimpses through the trees here. I can start to see the shine of vehicles. Come over this last little ride, or ridge, and roll into the parking lot here. Thanks for coming along. Been a good day.
Here we are. Back to the parking lot. That was one lap, which is about 4.5 miles.